Hi, my people. Welcome to Life with Queenette. Happy Easter. Hope you're enjoying this Easter period, and I hope you had some time to meditate, as regards why Jesus came, and he came, he died, he was buried, and he resurrected. And that's a beautiful thing that would happen to anyone who believes in Jesus. All right, so having said that, let's move over to this story that has been making rounds since last week. I actually was in that place really to come up with this story. I was expecting that when I want to do celebrity gist, it to be all gist, goody, and all that. But this type of betrayals, lies, anguish, pain, they kind of hurt me before I start doing it. And unfortunately, I just gotta do it. All right. So this is a story of pain, a story of betrayal, a story of anguish, a story of what, how else can I describe it? How else would what would I say so that you get, the information in a proper way? It's a story of deception, okay? It's a story that can destroy any strong human being standing, like bring your mental state crumbling. But having said that, we're going to go into this full gist and see what happened. And I'm sure you're ready to go with me. This particular couple, beautiful couple at that, they have been married for the past 12 years. And they are blessed with 3 amazing children, both sexes involved. I had to add both sexes because in Africa, they will say, it's possible why he's going to marry a second wife is because he doesn't have a boy. It's because he doesn't have a girl. That's why I had added both sexes. So you don't start with your stories. Alright? So having said that, this lady came to find out that the husband had married a second wife in Nigeria after 1 year. I'm sure you cannot take it. You can't take it. Okay, so what happened? What actually happened was that these people went to Dubai to celebrate, just as every other married couple want to take out time from the kids, from work, from busy schedules and all that, and just want to stay out, just like revive the relationship. So they went to Dubai. And that was July 1st, 2022, when this lady's world came crashing down. On that fateful day, she discovered her husband, Turns 2010, that's his Instagram account name, has secretly married another woman at treasure underscore 1989. The shocking revelation left her reeling as she tried to comprehend how this could have happened right under her nose. For 12 long years, she had been married to a man she thought she knew inside out. Little did she know that the person she had devoted her life to had been living a double life. That's sad. That's so sad. So sad. This is just the beginning. Let's continue with our discussion. So, she started investigating, and it was basically layers upon layers of lies. Okay, while one disturbing, then the last, then another, then another. So, and then she started facing emotional turmoil, facing a new and chilling threat, malicious online trolls targeted with a barrage of hateful messages, making her fear for her safety. But even more sinister were the native juju charms she discovered in the once loving sanctuary of her matrimonial home. So sad. So let's see. This woman actually discovered, and I think I've said that the other woman, Bumi, and her husband were married while they were in Dubai in April 2022, soaking up the sun and enjoying what she thought were moments of marital bliss. One evening, as they were on a video call with their kids back in the USA, a message popped up on his phone. It read, "Every time I see her pictures, it makes me sad." This woman's heart skipped a beat as she couldn't help but question him about the message. Her husband brushed it off, saying it was a girl from his past who had been harassing him. He denied knowing her or having any sort of relationship with her. He wanted to believe him, but trust that intuitiveness that is in every woman that will always make you know when you're being lied to, except you just decided to brush it aside. So she knew something wasn't right. She cried her eyes out, feeling betrayed and helpless. At this point, she didn't know more was coming. Upon returning to the USA, she couldn't shake the feeling that she needed to do something about the situation. With a heavy heart, she decided to voice her concerns to her husband's parents. However, their response was she should put her mind at rest, though, that he will not do such a thing. No. Even his mother insisted that the lady was merely a business partner. Eh? And then the woman was not trying to juggle the two. My husband said he was simply, should we even call him an acquaintance, an ex from his past. The mother is saying he's a business partner. The inconsistencies were just very clear. She said while the mother-in-law was saying it's a business partner, the husband quickly silenced her from revealing any more. All these contradictions and evasiveness from the family began to take a toll on her, psychologically and mentally, abusing her sanity. They tried to minimize the issue, dismissing it as neither serious nor deep. Driven by a desperate need for the truth, she took matters into her own hands. She went through her husband's phones and found some strange numbers that he had been communicating with on WhatsApp. Her heart pounding. One of the numbers she called ended up being a female. She questioned her about her relationship with her husband, but she flatly denied knowing him at all. Feeling cornered, she hung up and sent her a text message, including a picture as proof that her number was saved on his phone as Fisayo. Remember, Fisayo is a man, which later found that her real name is Bumi Adedepo. Yet she still denied it, insisting that she had no connection to him whatsoever. She felt stuck, unsure of how to proceed. It seemed as if everyone involved was determined to keep her in the dark, denying any serious relationship between her husband and Bumi. But she couldn't ignore the nagging feeling that there was more to this story. And she knew she had to keep digging to uncover the truth. However, she kept hopes up, thinking the marriage was salvageable. On June 20th, 2022, her husband informed her that he needed to travel to Nigeria for an important project. He wasn't keen on the idea, but he managed to convince her with documentary evidence that he had been approved of a 57 million naira grant for the oil and gas station he was building. He insisted that he had to be in Nigeria to monitor and supervise the project personally. Meanwhile, at this point, their son had contracted COVID-19 and was running fever, but the man was bent on traveling. So she was furious with him for leaving them in such a vulnerable state and couldn't bring herself to answer any of his calls. Her anger grew as she struggled to care for her sick child, feeling isolated and overwhelmed. On July 1st, she was resting in bed with her daughter when she received a phone call from a friend of hers. She inquired about the whereabouts. That's her friend inquiring about the whereabouts of her husband and asked if there was any problem in the marriage. She told her there was no issue. Left and right, everything is okay. We're living fine. Aside from him just leaving for Nigeria while this boy was sick. Her friend now asked if that was truly the only problem in their home. So her curiosity grew, my dear, if it's you, uncle. She asked what she meant. She asked her friend what she meant by that, and her friend sent her a picture that made her heart drop. They were dressed in white and pink coordinating colors, looking all too comfortable with each other. The wind was knocked out of our sails and she felt completely blank. She dialed her husband's number, her hands shaking with fury. Instead of addressing her concerns, he began interrogating her about not picking up his calls. She couldn't believe his audacity. Of course, that's one of the symptoms of a narcissist. All right, they make you second guess who you are and what you think you have seen. So, ignoring his questions, this woman sent him the picture his friend had shared with her and demanded an explanation. He immediately started apologizing. But when she insisted, asking why he was apologizing and what for, he told her that the lady was celebrating her birthday, and that was why they were dressed in matching clothes. Oh my God. I couldn't help. So the woman said she couldn't help, but asked why he was the only one matching with her, since she didn't see a crowd of people wearing the same outfits. It was evident that there was more to these pictures. All he could say was, "I'm sorry," before he hung up the phone. I'll place the pictures of some of the things I've said so you can see it as an evidence. Not long after their conversation, her friend called that they had taken down the picture on at Colography Instagram page. That's the people that did the photo shoot. So she couldn't handle the emotional breakdown alone, so she reached out to family and friends. Their support was invaluable, but she was still emotionally drained and on the verge of a mental breakdown. Determined to find out the truth, she spoke to a friend who had found a mutual friend of Bumi Adedepo on Instagram. Through this connection, she gathered some information that left her reeling. She discovered that Tunde Oyelade and Bumi Adedepo had been married for a year, and they had just celebrated their first anniversary. She was dumbfounded, struggling to believe the truth that was unfolding before her eyes. In her desperation, she called Tunde's mom, hoping she would be honest with her, at least for once. But she insisted that whatever she was hearing were all lies. She urged her to tell people to stop spreading false information. The next day, friends and family gathered around her, offering their support and condolences. Their presence gave her the courage to believe that there was more to the story than she had been told. All the while, she kept calling both of them in tears day and night to demand full details of this embarrassment. She said, "Sorry, but I needed closure." 2 days after the revelation about his infidelity, adultery, and bigamy, on Sunday, July 3rd, a friend of Bumi called her friend to inform her that Bumi is in Dubai. That's a friend of Bumi called her to tell her that Bumi is in Dubai with her husband and not in Nigeria, as he had claimed. She didn't believe her, demanding photos and pictures as proof. To her dismay, she provided the evidence she sought. They were indeed in Dubai. Feeling desperate for the truth, she video called Tunde, demanding that he should show her his hotel room as proof that he was in Nigeria. He refused. She couldn't hold back her tears. The thought of being lied to was unbearable. Oh my God. Despite her anguish, Tunde kept trying to convince her that he was in Nigeria. She decided to call Bumi again, asking her why she was with him when she knew he was married. She didn't have a satisfactory answer, and she grew increasingly frustrated. She reached out to Tunde's family. They continued to insist that he was in Nigeria, not Dubai. Feeling lost and needing more information, she started contacting more people through Facebook and Instagram, hoping to find proof of Tunde's deception. While sourcing social media, she came across clips of Tunde and Bumi's white wedding on one of Bumi's friends' Facebook and IG page, Sisi Mercy. That's the friend's IG page, yeah. They also went to Dubai together. She found some pictures and videos on Instagram, including images shared by the wedding planner using the couple's hashtag AA till infinity. However, she noticed there was no photos or videos of Tunde and Bumi together. She later learned from someone who attended the wedding that an announcement was made instructing guests not to take pictures or videos of Tunde and his family. This one fueled her suspicion further. Finally, she managed to obtain multiple videos and pictures from various mutual friends of Bumi, and they sent to Tunde's family as evidence of his bigamy. With her emotions in turmoil, she told Tunde not to return to their house when he arrived back in America. She was furious and overwhelmed and couldn't bear the thought of him living under the same roof after all the deceit and betrayal. Despite her, her wishes, his brother brought him to the house upon his return, and they called to demand for his car keys and arguing with her. His elder brother requested for a sit down. There was more screaming and shouting instead of him to be remorseful. He even had the audacity to say in front of his brother that he should give him time to settle with Bumi as their relationship had progressed far. He also accused her of not supporting his business ventures. However, the truth was that she had been by his side. That is what the woman said. Supporting every step of the way. She took care of their home and their beautiful children while he traveled to Nigeria every 3 months. She would even pick him up and drop him off at the airport for every trip. She vividly remembered that on July 5th, 2021, the kids and herself had prepared a welcome surprise for him at the airport, unaware that he had just married Bumi in Nigeria. It was a painful memory to look back on, knowing what she knew now. She later found that all the family businesses she thought they had in Nigeria actually registered in both Tunde and Bumi's names. Can you beat that? The overwhelming betrayal, deception, and heartache ultimately led her to file for divorce. She couldn't bear to stay in a marriage that had caused her so much pain and misery. For the sake of her sanity and safety, she knew she'd have to let go and start a new chapter in her life, focusing on her children and find happiness once again. The tension and fighting became unbearable for the kids and herself, so she made the difficult decision to move out of the house. Leaving their home took a toll on the children. Their school performance suffered. Their emotional trauma led to countless sleepless nights for all of them. She could hear them cry in the middle of the night. It broke her heart to see them in such distress. Even when she tried to sleep, she was plagued by nightmares in which she was strangled, murdered, and killed. The weight of everything that had happened seemed to haunt every moment of her life. To make matters worse, Tunde, in a moment of anger while he was still in Nigeria, had threatened the kids, saying that he would ensure they were taken to a foster home because he didn't care for them anymore. This cruel and thoughtless statement further exacerbated the pain and suffering her children and herself were experiencing. In December 2022, she discovered that Bumi had been following her and her friends on Instagram under the username at BT Brain Makeover. It was unsettling to know that she was monitoring her life even after everything had happened. Tunde, on the other hand, has taken her name and middle name, her mother's name and middle name, with the 3 kids' name to a cleric couple with the diabolic stuffs she found in the house. This is something else. Well, they both threatened, that is Bumi and the husband, threatened that they will make sure she suffers. She's crying out to the public and everyone that if anything happens to her, and her 3 kids, that they are all Bumi, and Tunde are to be held responsible. This is so pathetic. I mean, this is the height of it. I want to go to the comment section right now and drop your own comments about this issue. Bye for now.